What is going on, everybody? Today we are going to be working on an Ascended one. I'm got two left here, and then we got the three stronger characters from the Warband. This one looks a little more complicated, so I think we're just going to go with this one right now. See if we can't almost speed paint this guy. Maybe knock him out in about an hour. We've been actually finishing them all in about an hour, but we'll see if we can't speed this one up a little bit too. See what we can get done. So I'm going to make my little water palette or water cup here. So one thing I've been enjoying a lot lately is I take the AK Ultra Matte varnish, put a little bit in there. And then I take some distilled water, and that's just like my little mixing cup for now. I have when I want to thin down paint on the palette or wet my brush, I have this kind of mixture of matte varnish plus water. So I already got him zenithal primed a bit and Druchii Violet wash over the skin. And I think we'll just go we'll just treat it. Oh, that's really purple. Okay, that's too purple. Probably just going to treat it a bit like a speed paint, I guess. See if we just can't knock out everything fairly relatively quickly. What's up, Jam Jar 34? How's it going? Working on the Unmade Warband for Warcry. Got all my paints here to the side. As always, we'll continue to just use Pallid Witch Flesh as our white. It's an off-white, but it's nice for this because we're making a lot of muted, just kind of natural tones. I'm going to make some rough kind of skin glaze color. Rough meaning I don't have any specific plan, just making something. Pulling from anything, we're just making a muddy neutral. And I know I want it to be kind of purple because this character, I think we're going to leave him a little more purple than some of the other ones. And I'm just going to put this over all the skin. Starting to leave this one a little more purple just because I'm trying to add a nice variation in all the skin tones. Not using like, a ton of work to make sure they're different, just they're naturally different because I'm mixing the skin tone unique every time. So this time we'll mix it a little on the purple side. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I was just watching over there. Watching Mythos paint his arcs. Yeah, I had to jump off because I want to finish at least one model tonight. And I've been going to bed a lot earlier than I was a month ago. So it's starting to get a little... About that time I'm feeling like, I want to lay down and watch a movie or something. So figured if I turn on the stream, I can at least put like an hour in. And if we go fairly quick, we could probably get this guy roughly done in an hour to a pretty high standard. So we're not doing anything too crazy right now. I'm just basically putting this kind of thin flesh color over the purple skin. Anywhere I go over it again lightens it up. So like here on the top of the arm, if I want it lighter, I could just go over it again. So I'm kind of working in some values. Quizzer Hussein, what's going on? Yeah, my sleep schedule got to more like normal person. So I've been actually going to bed at like midnight. Or a little earlier even sometimes. So I was feeling I needed to jump on stream now, or else I was about to be laying in bed watching a movie. Man, I watched this really, really good documentary last night called the Tree of Life. It was on YouTube. It's about like basically just about a fig tree in Africa and all the different species of animals and insects that basically all how they their relationship and nature with that tree. And that could be any fig tree or whatever, but just it was amazing. Like all the different species and how they exist with each other around that tree was wild. Birds making nests and ants protecting the tree from insects eating all the leaves, and just the way everything worked together was really, really cool. Monkeys. God, I love monkeys. I had to pop them off just so I could get underneath here, and I'll actually, just while he's off, go ahead and make some kind of dark brown tone. And paint in the leather. There we go, just so it's kind of dark and out of the way. And we'll get the back of his hand too. All right. Get him back on his little thing here. Teach what in 5th grade? Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, they teach stuff like that, but it's pretty amazing just to see how this one little tiny area interacts with so many animals. And it was filmed really, really good. So I went ahead and I actually finished, I think it was this guy with the chain on top. So I finished him just off stream one morning. I think he was the last one I did. But here's the 4 kind of grunts. I haven't finalized the bases yet, so I just stabbed them into this piece of styrofoam. But they're looking pretty cool as a little warband. So now we're working on the bigger boys. So we got these 2 here, the ascended ones. Go ahead and put in some of this yellow. Yellow, I'm using sulfide ochre from Army Painter. Oh, have a good night, Zane. Take care. Yeah, I'll probably be asleep by midnight tonight, so. It's crazy. For a while there, my sleep schedule was like I was falling asleep at like 5 p.m. and then just waking up at like 3 in the morning. So I'd be like, oh, I guess maybe I'll stream for a little bit. But what I like to do is work on my Kickstarter during the day. I've been going outside and working out, and like at the park, and I sunburn the top of my head. So my head feels kind of bad because I have a nice sunburn on it, and it's peeling a little bit. In the back of my neck, it's a little sunburn. So I think that's sapping my energy a little bit, is that my head's sunburned and I want to just lay down. Alright, so this guy's actually got shoes on. So I guess the more higher up you get in the Unmade Warband, the more likely you can get some shoes. So that's cool. Trying to get just a dark color. It's funny, as I continue on these models, they get more and more just sloppy mixes of the browns. Kind of one of those things where you just, you know, you get more confident, I guess, and that everything's working out okay, so you just keep painting. I think it's kind of been a nice stream series with these characters too, is just demonstrating mixing up muddy neutral colors and making nice paint schemes and models. So maybe we'll whiten that up on a little bit. These things are so crazy with their skinned outfits made of human skin. I actually got quite a bit more stuff too from Warcry to paint. Picked up some other fun stuff to work on. Got some Gloomspite Gits. So I'll be painting some squigs and some trolls. And I got, what else did I get? Oh, the Deepkin. So that'll be cool when we get to that. We're going to actually not do that spot. We'll do it out here. Yeah, I got a good idea for the squigs. It's going to look really nice. Yeah, I don't think... Well, it's not like that bad of a sunburn. I've been drinking quite a bit of water. I drink a lot of fresh fruit and vegetable juice too every day, like about 2 liters every day. So that's pretty hydrating. But yeah, it definitely definitely just, you know, when your skin's sunburned, you get that kind of itchy feeling on your skin. And I've been putting vitamin E on my head. We're gonna put some dead flesh on the palette again. We had some before, but it's getting kind of mixed in with. It looks like we dropped a blob of. There. But yeah, I have really pale skin, so I'm pretty prone to, I guess, getting a sunburn if I'm outside too long. Which I don't usually do anything too much outside, but lately with quarantine and gyms and stuff being closed, I've been working out outside, which I actually really like. It's been, oh, we got to do something else with it. It's been really nice working out outside, and but yeah, I definitely got to be a little more careful or put some sunscreen on. Because normally, actually, in my day to day, I wear a hat most of the time. So that's probably why, for the years that I've been shaving my head bald, I haven't got a sunburn yet. Only simply because I wear a hat. So it's just a matter of luck, I guess, that it hadn't happened yet. This patch here, I need to figure out a way to make it more interesting because it's too close to its surrounding colors. Maybe we'll make it a little more red. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Alright, we're really cranking them out. Actually, now that I've been doing these for a little while, I'm pretty fast at getting them done. Oh, well, yeah, actually, so part of the being tired thing is I have just been going to bed around like 10, 11, 12. So, you know, I've been up since 7 in the morning or something. So it's getting about my normal time lately that I would be going to bed. It's definitely something I'll have to keep an eye on, I guess, because I'm usually somebody that focuses a lot on like my general, how do I feel, like, you know, if I have a cramp or a pain in my chest, I'm the type of person that immediately thinks like, oh, is that a heart attack? Like, oh, I'm having a stroke. You know, just that kind of general health anxiety, I guess. But in this case, it seems like it's probably okay. But yeah, maybe I'll put a damp paper towel or something on my head and soak my head a little bit before I actually decide to turn off the lights and go to sleep. Cool, we are actually really making progress through this guy. Now that we've kind of already got all our muddy flesh tones here on the palette mixed up. Mini Painting Papa, what is going on? Frost and Fist, what's going on? Everybody's in the chat. I was actually just going to mention something that you talked about on your stream, Mythos, where you mentioned how I said, you know, as you paint models, you can get faster because you've already made a lot of color decisions. So in this case, like this character here, I've already made these decisions 4 times. So really I'm just pulling from this kind of muddy neutral brown tones. Pretty much at random, only looking at trying to keep different values side by side, so like 2 light ones aren't side by side. And it's making painting this character very fast. It is pretty funny that none of them had shoes. And then this is like a 100-point model. And then all of a sudden they get shoes. Discriminating against them. The lower people in the warband don't even get a pair of shoes to run around in. Can't tell if that's a part of the shoe or metal buckle. So I guess this is a new part for these models because the other ones didn't have shoes. But I think these shoes are going to be very low risk. Low risk, low reward. Nobody's going to care. Yeah, that's metal. Show you guys here in 1 second. Cool. I think that's about good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long I've been going right now. Well, let me open the window. So, I've been going for 22 minutes only. And basically, I'm going to block in the metals and throw on the Agrax Earthshade, and then from there, we're already almost done. I just got to go in and highlight after that dries, but here's the crew. These guys that we worked on so far. Got the 4 little guys all finished up. This guy's a conversion here. I cut off his spear and gave him this marauder bit, so he's got a flail. That way, in the game, I got now 2 guys with spears and then 2 guys with flails. So, slightly different rules for flail or spear. I don't know which one's better. To me, the flail looks better because the character also gets a sword. And then this guy here, he's next. And then I'll show you the other ones here. I converted this guy. So I gave him a sword. He did have a hook hand, but he's supposed to be the 3rd one of this type of character here. See this guy with the hook hand? But I gave him a sword and I'm going to put him jumping on a rock like this guy and make 2 of him. So I'll have 2 of these and 2 of those instead of 3 of those and 1 of this guy. So this, it's not much of a conversion. It's literally just cutting off a hook and putting a hand on there. But figure if this guy's double swords and this guy's double swords and they're both jumping, you know, and they'll be on the same base. They're on bigger bases, so that should help. And then we got this crazy guy, or girl actually, I think. So the leader will be last. And we might actually build the yellow up on her a little bit more than like what I've been doing on these helmets. We might actually give her yellow a bit of a real yellow highlight instead of this ochre yellow I've been using. And that maybe will make her pop just enough. Oh, thank you so much for using the ghost rushes. This will be my warband for now. I plan on playing with them. At this point, I pretty much paint everything with the intention that I can sell it for a profit if I want. But this is for me. But I also got these guys. I got to start collecting. And then this box here. So I'm going to be making a Deepkin warband as well. And I don't know which one I'm going to like better, you know. If I really love playing the Deepkin and these guys maybe I don't love as much, I'm going to put a jet exhaust out on my little water bottle cup. You know, maybe they'll sell them, but I don't know. It'd be kind of nice to have a Chaos Warband and then the Elf Warband. But then, because I'm crazy, I also bought some Gloomspite Gits, so I might have a Goblin Warband too. I'm just going to quickly base coat all the metals. Which I should have done before I took my little pause to show you stuff, because then we could have had it dry and ready for the wash. But what were you working on tonight, Mini Papa? Yeah, I've been in a more, I know it upset Zane, but I've been more in a normal sleep pattern. So I haven't been doing my 2, 3 a.m. streaming. I don't really know if I like being in a more normal sleep pattern, really. Like, yeah, I get up at 7 or 8 in the morning, but geez, why do I want to get up that early? Now I've been going outside and working out at the park, like I was saying earlier. But I sunburned my head. So definitely going to be taking a little break from the park for a couple days. Or go buy some sunscreen, I guess. Actually, on Sunday, I think my brother and his wife and kids are going over to my parents for like a little Sunday dinner. So I might go over there and hang out. And then I'm sure my parents have some extra sunscreen I can snag from them. But even then, my head's probably burnt enough that it's probably best I just wear a hat if I'm doing anything outside for a few days. It's already peeling a little bit. Oh, I didn't get under his arm when I did my flesh tones on him, but that's okay. Oh, he's falling off his thing. Yeah, Mythos was working on his airbrushing on stream, and I tried that on my Warcry terrain, and man, it's funny. All of a sudden, felt like I was knocking things over, and it's like trying to operate the spray gun airbrush and pay attention to the camera was like a little too confusing for me. I didn't really care for it. Debating on I got a really cool paint scheme I'm going to do for my squigs. And probably the rock trolls. And the majority of the basing of it's all airbrush in my mind. So I'm debating if I want to try to do that on stream for people, or I might just show them after it's all been done and tell people how I did it. And then they can watch me just apply the washes. Either way. It'll be cool though, so I got a bunch of Deepkin models that I'm really excited to start painting, but I think I could really knock out a unit of either squigs or trolls really pretty quick. So after I'm done with this warband, before I start on the Deepkin guys, maybe I'll do a little bit of squigs. Well, scratch that. After this warband's done, I'm going to finish the Warcry terrain. And then after that, I mean, maybe I'll do a unit of squigs before I do the unit or start working on the Deepkin. Kind of picture these guys maybe running through a river of blood. So we haven't fully decided how that's going to happen yet. But one thing I know about blood effects is there's no way it's going to look good if I use my AK Interactive Ultra Flat Varnish on the blood effect. Which means I have to do everything, then matte varnish, and then do the blood effects at the very end. And I'm not going to splatter the models at all. I spent too much time highlighting these models to cover anything with blood effects, but yeah, well, I'm not even spending that much time on them really. But I think the highlights look good either way. But I do, the bottom of their feet, like for example, this foot that's lifted up off the ground, that could be a foot that has blood on it. Heinrich Botha in the building. $155 models. Hold on, I gotta catch up on chat. Let me jump back here. Actually, let me paint this flail and then I'll scroll up and catch up on the chat. because that way I can let this stuff dry for a second. Yeah, one thing that's making these guys go fast too, which is probably not something I would normally do, but with a little bit of speed painting in mind, well, I don't know. It's hard to put into words sometimes. So I am trying to get these done with the intention that if I play in an event, I want to compete for best painted. So when I'm saying I'm speed painting, what I'm, I guess, saying is I'm trying to paint them better than what I think the average warbands in like an event are going to look like, but not spend so much time that I'm going to enter them into like a full-on painting competition necessarily. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm picturing what maybe some of the other warbands look like that I've seen, and I'm just basing that on like, okay, let's try to do better than that if possible. And then can we do that, you know, fairly quickly? All right, so let me jump in the chat. And then while we let him dry, I might actually just throw that metal paint onto that other character. Oh wow, yeah, that I don't think I'd want to take on a 155 model commission. Yeah, actually at my parents' house we have a couple aloe vera plants. Sometimes I'll take them and blend them up in my smoothies and drink the aloe vera, but now I actually have to take one and rub it on my head. So Sunday I'll probably should go over there just to grab that alone. So I'm just gonna, while this metal's on the palette or in that little cup and still wet, instead of just letting it go to waste, I might as well block in the metal on this guy's stuff too. Plus I need to let it dry on the other model to Agrax Earthshade him. I hear quite a bit of commotion outside my window here. Hope the murderers aren't back. If any of you were watching that stream where there was like a tapping on my window in the middle of the night, I think it was like a cat or something. Or murderers. But yeah, I was looking it up. And I do have vitamin E here at the house. So I've been putting that on my head today. I actually put that on my face and head most days anyway. Because I kind of come from a family of, or my dad and brother and stuff all have really dry skin. And I don't have it quite as bad as them, but I still have pretty dry skin. So I had some vitamin E on hand and I've been using that. Hopefully that's just as good as aloe for the time being. this will save me a lot of time on this character here by just throwing these metals on now. That way when I work on him later, I'll just have to clean up any metals that I get paint on when I work on the other parts. Tell you, I am definitely ready to go play some Warcry. I've been working on these things and reading the books and getting so excited. It feels like the quarantine stuff is coming to an end. Parks and stuff reopened in Arizona. Game stores reopened for retail, not for gaming, but so definitely starting to feel like, hey, we might be playing soon, maybe in June. I'm gonna really feel it though when I finish painting that terrain. After I finish these guys and then finish painting the set of terrain, oh yeah, I'm going to be ready to play. Going to be hard to have a fully painted set of terrain plus a warband and no place to go play. Man, this guy's decked out in metal stuff. He's not messing around. As always, we're just using the size 6 ghost brush for everything. Until this is the same one that refuses to die. It felt like it was going to die on me a couple times, but it's still kicking. Surprisingly. I don't know how. It's like it's the brush knows it's been on camera like every stream, so it doesn't want to retire. Yeah, I think we pretty much got all the metal on him. Oh, we gotta get behind that little prong thing. Cool. Alright, yeah, so having him base coated, his metals, it's gonna save us all kinds of time. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not the murderers, but I mean, I don't want to have to spray a murderer in the eyes with ultra matte varnish to distract them while I get my tiny X-Acto knife to stab them to death to defend my home and my horde of hobby crap. Alright, now we're going to let old secret sauce magic juice Agrax Earthshade just cover this whole model and basically does all the work for us. Because I'm working in nothing but neutral tones, the Agrax Earthshade is really just perfect for shading all the colors on here, as you've seen me do on the other ones. But that's it. I basically just block it in, Agrax Earthshade it, and then hit it with highlights on the skin and some of the leather. I don't even highlight all the leather. I'm going to try to make sure I get enough in those deep areas where you can't reach with the brush in any kind of accuracy. Like he's got this skin hanging from his mouth, kind of blocks the center of his chest, so best I can do is try to get it really dark. Oh. Ever since I took him off to paint the inside of his cloak or whatever, he's not staying on the poster tack the way we would like it to. If anybody in the chat has played Warcry, let me know what you think of it. I thought it looked dumb when it first came out, like just like way too simple, and oh, I think I'm rubbing off the yellow paint somehow. That's weird. None of the other ones have done that, but on this face it looks like I just rubbed off the yellow paint. I don't like that. I don't know why I did that. Better not do it on the rest of this model. But yeah, when Warcry came out, I was like, man, this looks so simple and dumb. And then the more supplements came out and added to it, and it looked cool. Then I started watching stuff on YouTube about it, and everybody seemed like they were having a lot of fun. And I was like, well, heck, I'll start looking into it more. And all my friends actually already had it and played a little bit, and I was just never joining in. And during the quarantine, man, I totally did a 180. Now I'm like, it's the only game I'm excited about playing right now. It's like I really want to play some Warcry. I hope it's fun. It looks fun. See if we can get underneath here without pulling it off the... Oh, he's falling. Okay, he's off. I'll get underneath here. Places like that are a good place to load up your wash. I think that feels like about it. I think we got it. Maybe I get a little more on this belt buckle face. And I am very disappointed the way that yellow paint wiped off his face. So just while that's still wet, I'm just gonna put my yellow back on. And if we have to, we'll put Agrax on there again. While the metal's wet, I just go ahead and put the dark rust wash on there too. Or not the metal's wet, but the Agrax Earth Shade is wet on the metals. One thing I think that looks really good about Warcry is it seems like there's a lot of room for multiple kind of types of play. Like I could see easily just as like a fun game, definitely going to work well for that. But it also seems like there's pretty good room for, you know, running well, I don't know about running, but, you know, playing an event, as long as you pick scenarios that are relatively even. You know, I know some of the cards that can get flipped can be pretty one-sided. Oh, thanks for the sub as well. Well, we've only been going 51 minutes, but I think I'm actually not going to highlight this guy tonight because I want to let it completely dry since some of the paint was rubbing off. And because of my sunburned head, I think I'd rather just kind of lay down and drink some water and relax with like an ice pack or a cold washcloth on my head for a little bit. So, I know that probably sounds like a weak excuse, but that's all I got. So, look, I mean, by any standard, this character's done. Like, that's a pretty quick, cool, grim paint job. Obviously, I need to put a little bit more shadow into that helmet now that I had to touch it up. But next thing I do is I just highlight all the skin. And that's basically how we achieve these guys. So you can see, you know, highlight the yellow, highlight the skin. Pick some of the leather pieces and highlight them. Dry brush all that rusty metal with silver. That's about it. Pretty simple and pretty quick. You saw it pretty much live action right there. The trick is all the colors are basically just mixed from the same muted brown tones. I mean, there's quite a bit around here, but they're all just, you know, mixing together and creating kind of muddy, neutral brown tones with a little bit of purple, a little bit of red on the palette. And then I add a little bit of the wolf gray blue, just like a gray blue. And then that's kind of how I generate some of the skin tones. But yeah, I think we're going to call it there for right now. I just got about probably 20 minutes or less of highlighting on the model, probably less. But yeah. Ooh, my hands are extra sweaty too. I just pulled off the gloves. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad I actually took the time to jump on here though, because sometimes when you don't jump on the stream or make YouTube content or whatever, you might fall behind on doing your own hobby. It's easy to get lost in watching other people hobbying on their YouTube channels. So as always, one big benefit I feel like of the streams, especially the painting streams, is just getting stuff painted. Like this model 50 minutes ago was just primed with a purple wash on the skin, and now it would be ready to go if I wanted to. But of course I want to highlight it and try to make it pop a little more. But hopefully, yeah, we get I got, I think, 8 of my little elf archers for the Deepkin. I think I got 8 of them built. I got 2 more to build. One thing with the Deepkin, oh, thank you, Mythos. The one thing with the Deepkin, so you can field all 10 of these guys as a warband in Warcry. These 10 archers is like 810 points. So those 10 plus like maybe a bigger character or a couple little swordsmen, you can actually make a team. Now, whether or not I'm going to run 10 little archers, I might try it once or twice, but I have to paint them all just mentally. I'll have to paint all 10 of them because, like I was saying before, if I want to sell them one day, I want to have a full official 10-man unit that I could sell, not 3 that I painted and 7 unpainted. And especially when it comes to Age of Sigmar, because unit sizes are not buying individual models, you buy groups of models. So I'm sure in Age of Sigmar you buy these in groups of 10 for your building your army. So I'll paint all 10. When I do the eels, I'll paint 3 of each, and so on. So, but yeah, like I said, I think the plan is finish up these Warcry Unmade Warband. It's gonna be, hopefully we have them done in the next, by next Friday, and then I guess we got to finish up all that terrain we were working on. We got to matte coat it and then dry brush it and then start picking out all those details. I think the wash came out pretty nice. You'll see it once I hit it with the matte coat. And then I think it's going to be on to a little funsy break on maybe some trolls or squigs. And then we'll start working on some of these fish elves. So there you have it. It looks like, this is pretty dry. But we're going to let it continue to dry, and I'm going to call it a night. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe. If you're buying anything on Amazon, please use my affiliate links below. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.